Conducting a site visit is a key part of the ERP software evaluation process, but the process is challenging and fraught with difficulties, and it is difficult to get the best out of a site visit. That's what I want to talk about today. My name is Marcus Harris. I'm a software and technology attorney. For the last 20 years, I've drafted and negotiated a variety of technology-related contracts and litigated failed digital transformations in courts across the country. Site visits are critical to the ERP software selection process, but there is a fundamental flaw associated with them. And that really is that the ERP software vendor almost always tightly controls your access to the host company. And often that host company is compensated for doing the site visit. So how do you make the most out of a site visit, and what should you do to prepare? Well, first and foremost, I think you have to have a clear understanding of what your business needs are and what your business requirements are before you go into that site visit. You want to have identified key stakeholders from your company to meet with, there's similarly situated key stakeholders at the host company that are going to be, doing, similar business functions within the software that are done at your company. You want to get an understanding of the features and functionality of that software in a live environment. But really, you want to have a structured agenda that is really going to cover at least the following. You want to make sure that you ask the host company about the implementation process of the software. Was it more complicated than they expected? Was the implementation process misrepresented by the ERP vendor? How long did it take, and how much money did it cost? I think all those are fair questions. You're there for a reason, and I think you have to ask these critically important questions that are going to have an impact on your implementation of that software and your utilization of the software on a going forward basis. You want to have an understanding of any challenges that the host company faced in implementing that software. You want to get an understanding of what are some of the key features and functionality of the system as it's implemented and utilized in their environment. And you're going to want to meet with various departments within the host company to get an understanding of their workflows and how they utilize certain features and functionality of the software to address those workflows. And ideally, those workflows are going to be substantially similar to the workflows that you're utilizing in your company. You want to ensure that you have a live demonstration of the software. You want to be seeing that software in an actual live environment using real data. You want to understand whether that software has been modified, whether it has been customized, whether that is out-of-the-box software. All of that is going to be critically important to your understanding of how best you are going to be able to utilize that software in your own business. You are going to want to observe users performing actual tasks with the software in a live production environment, similar to how you are going to be utilizing that software. I think you want to have an understanding of how well that software is integrating with third-party products, if it is integrated with third-party products, and what amount of third-party applications are actually addressing the functionality issues that are being demonstrated. You want to know, what am I seeing, and how much of it really is the software that I'm intending to license. And I think as you move away from that software demonstration, or that site visit rather, you're going to really want to do kind of a deep dive analysis of what you have seen. You want to provide your internal stakeholders with a summary of what your findings were. You want to be able to provide some sort of an evaluation of how that software was utilized, where the functionality gaps might be, what kinds of modifications or customizations are going to be necessary in your environment. And really, to the extent you can, you're really going to hopefully have candid conversations with that host company outside of the earshot of the software vendor. I think one of the biggest risks associated with these site visits is that you don't really get to see the software In an actual use environment, it's going to be kind of a cherry-picked environment, and you're not really going to have full access to not only the software but to the host company to ask them the questions that you want. But I think if you follow these steps, you put in place a tight agenda that addresses your business requirements, and you ask the right kind of questions, you really are getting the most value out of the site visit that you can, and you're really setting yourself up for success going forward. If you have any questions about any of the issues I've talked about in this video, feel free to reach out to us. We'd love to talk to you. You can reach us at taftlaw.com.